Guys, how are you doing? Well, I'm on the balcony and it's raining. I was going to do this vlog while out walking, but I don't want to get wet, so now it's on the balcony with my hot chocolate to keep me warm. I have a t-shirt on today because yesterday my back got bitten by some mosquitoes. So let's talk condominiums in Davao. So condominium, apartment, studio apartment, flats as they call them in the UK. So we're going to talk about condominium. So there are two areas I'm going to go over today. So there is, and this is all about buying a condominium, not renting. And the reason I'm doing the buying part is because you can rent cheaper apartments or cheaper apartels than you can condominiums in Davao. Okay, so that's the first point. Second point is there are different stages similar to the subdivisions on condominiums. You have Aon Tower, which is on JP L'Oreal. You have a Breezer towers, and that's 4 of those towers down at a Breezer Mall, and they are big condominiums. Then you come towards Sasa, which is coming towards Hannibal. You have Sea Winds, which is by Demosa Land. Nice condominium. Only problem is it's at the end of the runway of the international airport, so planes take off and they land at Sea Winds. So I've got some information. I will put it at the end of this video, the same as I did with my subdivision video yesterday. So that's the Sea Winds. There are some condominiums on Samal, but they're more condo hotel type, so I'm not going to venture into that. This is purely condominiums. So you come back from Sasa, you come back into Duit, and you come back into Abuelo Cove. Abuelo Cove is actually having condominiums built at the moment, and they are upmarket condominiums. They are anything from around 5 to 6 million upwards, okay, not down, upwards. So it's a prestige condominium. Now there are variations in condominiums within Davao. You have condominiums that have lots of swimming pools, kiddies areas, gyms, theatres, room to rent, areas that you can rent out. You have scenic walkways on the rooftop. It's all condominium people only, so nobody from the outside can get in unless you're invited. And there's that exclusivity with those types of condominiums. Then there are the other condominiums which I class as like a Resale, which is on JP L'Oreal, which is more family orientated. So you come along a Breezer, come along JP L'Oreal, a Resale, ABROZZO, is on the right hand side. It's an Italian themed condominium. It has 5 or 6 units, has a garden area, swimming pool, outside play area, but the condominiums are studio, 1 bedroom and 2 bedroom. I think they've got a couple of 3. Most of them don't have balconies, but if you go to 2 bedroom you'll get a balcony. Now the rule of thumb for me is what I look at is if it is square meterage is what I look at. So the square meterage on a lot of condominiums here in the Philippines, in Davao, ranges from 19 to 29 square meters in a studio or a 1-bedroom condo. Okay, and that's a basic condominium, and that will cost you anywhere between 1,900,000, so call it 2 million, to 2,900,000, so call it 3 million. So it runs between the 2 million and the 3 million bracket. Okay, there's not many condominiums that offer swimming pools and security and amenities and 24-hour Wi-Fi and all of that lovely stuff that we all like to live with under the 1.9 million pesos. In the time I've been here, I've only found one condominium that sat at 1.6 million pesos, and that was 19 square meters, and it was just like a block of flats. No security, no gated entry, no security. It was just open to everybody, and I've been here for like 2 years now. So then you go to what I call the 33 to 39 square meters of your condominium, and that ranges from say 3,000,001 up to 3,000,009 to 4,000,001 pesos. Then you go to your 42 to 56 square meters, and that 56 will include the balcony area. Bear that in mind when you get to that end. It includes that balcony area within your room meterage. And a balcony in a condominium here is approximately 12 square meters, not any bigger unless you go really high. And then you're talking about 4,800,000 to 5.5 million pesos. And then above that you're looking at only 3-bedroom or premium 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom and 4-bedroom condominiums, and then you will be looking at either what's called a split condominium. So you'll have a living area downstairs and you have the bedrooms up above it, so it'd be like a small house in the condominium. And Sea-Winds over at Sasa have 4 or 5 of those, and they're approximately 3,900,000 peso up to 5.5 million. Now with as you come along JP L'Oreal, you've got Calmita and North Towers, which is on the right hand side. On the left hand side there are some other old school condominiums or apartments which sit above shops and retail areas. So they are not secluded, they are just open to the elements. There are not a lot of condominiums down on the Boulevard Road, as I call it, going south. Majority of the condominiums are on JP L'Oreal, and there's quite a few condominiums being built they're called CONDO, and it's the name of a company. It's condominium outdoors. It has a village and everything else around it, and there are 3 of those being built in Davao at the moment. One of them is up by the airport, and it's up near the Resale shopping mall. It's up near all of those premium subdivisions and the university and the school up there. And you can get a 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom and a 3-bedroom now. The majority of it is 1-bedroom. You'll get a floor plan, and it will be studio, 1-bedroom, and then 2 bedrooms on the corner, and you'll get that layering. So you've got Ecoland, you've got Palmito, you've got Glenville, you have Lakeshore Drive, which is the other side of SM Langham. You have, what's it called, one view, or there's not One Direction, that's a pop group. It's One View, I think it's called One View, which is down near SM City. As I said, there's Magellan 2, Magellan 3, and you can see these as you drive through Davao, you can see these condominiums being built at the moment, or they're being built. In the middle of Davao, near the Marco Polo, there's the Vivaldi, which is predominantly one-bedroom condominium, and it's a condo hotel. As I said, there's no point talking about condo hotels because they want to rent your room out to make money on that, so you only have access to it a certain amount of time of the year. So some of the rules with having a condominium: you have to pay a monthly management or maintenance fee, and that is not included in the overall price, and that management fee is quite difficult to find what it actually is and how much it's going to be. If you go into any mall like a Breezer or SM Langen, you will have people from SMDC, you will have people from DMCM, you will have relators selling condominiums and doing site visits on condominiums and having a look. When you ask them how much it's going to cost, they'll give you the price of the condominium. Okay, whether it's a studio, a 1-bedroom, a 2-bedroom, a 3-bedroom, a split level, a 4-bedroom, or a penthouse, and they'll give you that quite straightforward. However, what they won't tell you is what the management fee is going to be, and the reason they can't give you that is because they don't know it. So when the condominium is finished, there will be a management company that go in that will set the monthly management cost for the building. How much for security, how much to redecorate, how much for maintenance, how much to look after the swimming pool, how much to look after the plants, so how much to look after the outside area, how much to repaint. So you have all of that added to it, and that can be a ball breaker because you believe you've got your condominium and you're in and it's doing great, and then all of a sudden somebody comes along and says you've got to pay 3,000 pesos a month or 2,000 pesos a month as a management fee for the property. Remember, you only own the box, you don't own anything else. You just own that little box, whether it's on floor 1, 2, 3 or 17. That's all you own. That is your territory. Outside, it's the management, and people from the condominium become part of that management structure. They become part of that collective barangay captain, or they become part of that directorship or management team that dictate what the costs are going to be. Okay, now the water fees could be slightly more expensive, the electricity could be slightly more expensive than what Davao Light charge on the open market, because the electricity is going into the condominium and then it's being looked after and it's being managed within the condominium. So there are all of those little incidentals that get added to the price of your condominium. So let's say you've bought your condominium, no problems at all, and you're going to go and move in. What do you expect when you walk through that front door? Well, if it's a fully fitted, great, but it's going to cost you more money. If it's just a 2.5 million condominium, you will get a small kitchen unit with a sink and water, you'll get your lights, you'll get your doors, you'll get your finish on the walls, tiles on the floor, finish on the ceiling, windows, AC hole in the wall or an inverter socket to put your inverter AC in, your front door, and that's it. The rest of it is for you. And when you have a look at some of the pictures at the end of this, look at the size of some of the rooms when you put a queen bed. They are a queen bed, they're not a king size bed. When you put a queen bed in a room, the rooms on some of the condominiums are not spacious. They are not spacious. They are very small in Western standards. Okay. If you have a 1-bedroom, you might have the balcony attached to the bedroom. So if you have friends around, you can't go through the living area into the balcony. You have to go through your bedroom to the balcony. You have to bear these little things in mind when you turn around and have a look at a condominium. Okay, now you can get finance on condominiums. You can get, you know, 600,000 pesos down. You've got 1.9 million to pay over 20 years. It's going to cost you around approximately 17,000 pesos a month for that period of time, whether it's 15 years or 20 years. And on top of that, you've got your electricity, you've got your water, you've got your management fee, you've got your decorating, you've got your wastage or your rubbish or your garbage collection, and so that all sits in there. Now, a lot of the condominiums do not have parking spaces or underneath garages with the apartment or the condominium or the flat. You have to buy that, and that is an extra cost if you want to put your car underground or put it in a parking space that's allocated to your specific living area. Now, so we've covered off some of these areas at the moment, financials of it. Now, one of the rules that sits with condominiums is that condominium is only allowed 40%. I think it's 40%, or it might be 60%. It might be 60%. Yeah, let's take it as 60 at the present time. Only 60% foreigners can occupy the condominium. So how that is managed, I don't know. How that is looked after, I don't know. But when you get to 60% of a condominium owned by foreigners, then the law here says that something has to go. So some of the foreigners have to go to reduce that occupancy level down, and then you end up having to either rent your condominium out or sell your condominium. Now, condominium resale here is not clever. People tend not to want to buy high-end condominium units because they're, one, very expensive, two, they tie in a lot of cash, three, if you want to move, there is nowhere else you want to move. And do you really want to be living in the same area for 20 years? Do you want to see your high-end condominium sitting there now, but in 20 years time it's no longer high-end, it's middle of the road, and the high-end condominiums that are being built elsewhere are becoming the new draw, and you want to sell your condominium to somebody so you can move to that new level of exclusivity. It's difficult. It is difficult. So I tend to keep away, me personally, only me personally, I keep away from something that's not going to increase in value that much, and I keep away from something that if I've got to sell it, I don't want to see it on the market for 5, 6, 7 years. And there are a couple of websites. La Mude is one website. There is Dot Property. There is Davao, and these all concentrate on condominiums in Davao. And there are still properties on there for sale. Okay, there are still properties on there for sale, and they've been there for 2 years because the person that bought it bought into the expectation of a vision, and it was going to do this, this and this, and now they committed all this money and they want that money back, but that condominium is worth this, so they have to do this. They have to lose money. Who wants to lose money? The only person that makes the money is the person selling or pushing the condominium to get rid of it. So there are some of the points what I've seen since I've been here. One, the condominiums seem to be on the lower end, fairly small. Two, they're expensive to buy, and there are continued running costs. Okay, more so than if you rented a house or you bought with your Filipino girlfriend a property. Three, very difficult to move on if you want to, say, move from the city. Your option is to rent it out, but then you become part of the rental market, which means your premium or your condominium that you've invested in starts to get tatty and worn out and stuff like that. Condominiums seem to be built in very busy areas near malls, and if you think that if it's 10 stories high and there's 20 apartments on a floor, you're looking at 200 apartments there, and if you've got 6 of those, you're looking at a lot of people going to the mall, a lot of people in that area, a lot of people using those facilities, and that means your management fee will be cheaper, but you will have to repair the swimming pool and the foyers and the public areas more often because you've got more people using it. And for me, the final one, which will be 4, I think it is, on condominiums, you have no flexibility. You can't just get up and do whatever you want to turn around and do. You are bound by the rules of the condominium, and if you've got somebody next door that parties till 3 o'clock in the morning and you complain, you end up tension. Not a very good environment, yeah, and it's seen as, oh, it's that foreigner complaining. So for me, I walk around the malls and people are trying to sell me condominiums, and they've been trying to sell me condominiums for the last 2 years. Let's take 1,000 pesos as a deposit. Okay, yes, I don't own it, but I don't have to commit 600 to 800,000 of my own money into buying this, and I'm not tied to living here for 15 to 20 years. And if I want to sell this, it will be very difficult to sell this, and it will be very difficult to sell a condo of a 1-bedroom or a studio size. So you have to think very, very carefully of what you're actually going to get when you do your condo. But I'm going to post some pictures at the end of it, and you can actually have a look at it. If you want a condominium that's got good security, you can sit on the 5th floor, 8th floor, 10th floor, 15th floor, overlooking Davao, watch the clouds. You go down and you can use the swimming pool. But a lot of people come here and they want to move further afield, and they want to go to the beach, and they want to go out and see the areas. You can go to resorts here that have glorious swimming pools, and Paradise Island over on Samao has the sea and beautiful swimming area, but you don't have to turn around and pay 17,000 pesos a month. You can rent cheaper here than you can buy a condominium, but they want you to buy the condominiums. Okay. Now, the other thing with a condominium is you can buy which is known as ready for occupancy, RFO, so it's finished, complete, and you can move in. Or you can buy off-piste, and what that means is you can turn around and give people the money and start paying the money, and it will be ready in 2 years' time. However, there are a lot of problems with that going forward. There are places in Manila and Cebu where the builders didn't even complete the first stage of construction on the condominium, but it took all the money from thousands of people. So once your money's gone, it's gone. So if you're going to go down the condo route, look for an RFO that you can see something. Yeah, it's like buying a car. You don't go to a Toyota garage and give somebody 2 million pesos of your money and turn around and say, okay, you're going to give me a Hilux in 6 months time or 2 years time. Well, if they want the money now, you need to get the property now, and there's a lot of that here, and they put it down to that's how it works in the Philippines. Yeah, right. I earned my money, and it's my money. You want my money, give me the apartment. If it's not ready, I walk away. I don't buy something off-piste, especially here in the Philippines. I would do that if I was in, say, America, or I would do it back in the UK, because I had confidence in the legal system. Here, once you've given the money over, it's gone. It's gone. Okay? It disappeared. And will you get your apartheid, or will you get your condominium? Will you get your dream? I don't think so. And you hear a lot of people buying condominiums here. They invest and they put the deposit down, they start paying, and they come back and then they do stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. Hang on a minute, where's stage 3? Oh, it's coming, it'll be here, we need the payment for it. Well, where is it? If you haven't done it, I'm not going to give you the money. And they tend to work like that here, and it becomes a bit frustrating. It's just a cultural thing, I think. But remember, it's your money, it's not theirs. It's your future, it's not theirs. So if you're looking at a condominium, be wary. Okay? Be wary. You will be tied to having that condominium. You will have no recourse to get out of it, and you will continue to pay your management fees. And I've never known management fees in a condominium go down. Never go down. Always go up. Always go up. And if you're one of those people that manages a budget back in your country or wherever you work, and every year your company turns around and says you need to shrink your budget by 5%, I can guarantee you don't shrink your budget by 5%, because you know it's going to be harder and harder and harder to do your job. And that's the same here. Your budget is finite, your expenses are finite, but your management fees to look after your investment will go up to an extent where you will, and you'll see if you go onto Lamuda and you go onto the websites, the ones I've just mentioned, you will see bank repossessed condominiums, because people have had enough and they've just left the country. They get on a flight, they don't say what they're going to be doing, they come to the end of the month, they don't make a payment, they get on a flight, put all their luggage in the flight, they don't say anything, and then they leave the country. And that's because the outgoing of 17,000 plus maybe the 3 or 4 or 5,000 a month, plus your electricity bill, plus your water bill, all of a sudden you're looking at 25 to 30,000 pesos a month on a condominium. Yeah, expensive, huh? Expensive. Anyway, I'm going to put some pictures on the end of some different condominiums, and I'll put some what the costs are to buy. So this is not to rent, sorry, to buy, not to rent. So have a look at it and go from there. People tend not to rent condominiums here. They rent houses or apartments or flats. So hope you enjoy. Like, share and subscribe. Thank you to my new subscribers. Let's grow my channel nice and slowly, and I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. So from a Friday night